Hi, lovely Milky Way galaxy. Now, I'm not going to brag, but it may sound like I'm bragging here. Um, Today's vlog, I wanted to talk about how sometimes, not every single movie that I've ever seen, whether it's action adventure, it's a comedy or a dark comedy or a thriller or any of that stuff. Not every single movie that I've ever watched, I know what happens next. But, with that being said, there are certain aspects of, say I watch a movie like 10 to 100 times, or maybe even more than 100 times, in my lifetime, movies that I've seen before, you can always figure out what's going to happen next. And I'm not going to list any movies or anything like that in this vlog, but say I watched a horror film 10, 50, 100, 200 times over the course of my life. I feel like I know what's going to happen next. And every person who's watched a movie hundreds of times will know what happens next in that said movie. Whether it's a horror film, whether it's a thriller, whether it's a comedy, whether it's a independent film, whether it's, a sci-fi film, a fantasy film, you name any genre of film that exists. And it could be a TV show too. It's not just a movie. If you've watched a TV show hundreds of times, or even 50 times, you know what's going to happen next in that said movie, or that said TV show, or whatever it may be. You actually know what's going to happen next because you've seen what happens, whether you've watched it, like I said, 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, 30 times, 50 times, even 100 times. And each time you watch that movie or that TV show, whether it's for however many times you've watched it, you kind of pick up on certain things that you may have missed the last time you watched it, or things like that. And that's what I wanted to get you guys to think about. When you're watching a movie, whether it's for the second time, or the 100th time, or the 500th time, or however many times you've watched it, see if you pick up on something new each time that you watch that said film. And even if you have watched it like 500 times, you may know the whole story, you may know what's going to happen next, you may know every little detail that you missed the first 499 times, or the first 99 times, or the first 49 times, or whatever it may be. You pick up, and I know that sounds contradictory because I'm saying each new time that you watch it, or each time that you rewatch a movie, you pick up on something different. But you do know what happens for the most part in that film, or in that TV show, or something along those lines. Now, with that being said, I want to move on to the second topic I want to talk about, which is puzzles. Now, when I talk about puzzles, I'm talking about ciphers and, and things like that. And I love to figure out each cipher, whether it's something that's, like in the Zodiac, they use a cipher to figure out who the guy is. I'm not saying I'm a detective or anything like that. There's just pieces of things that you pick up on in each new puzzle that you figure out, whether it's a cipher, whether it's something else. Every single thing has a pattern, so to speak. And I'm not saying I'm super smart, because I'm not. And just because I know how to figure out one cipher doesn't mean I know how to figure out the next cipher, or the next, plot twist, or the next, whatever it may be, or the next puzzle in a story that may have an ending to it. And that's pretty much all I wanted to discuss today. And I know these two topics may not make a whole lot of sense to each and every single one of you out there who watches my videos, watches my vlogs. But the fact of the matter is that I love to watch all sorts of different genre of films. It could be an action adventure, it could be a comedy, it could be a independent film. It could be a sci-fi. It could be fantasy. It could be a horror, a thriller, whatever it may be. I've watched hundreds, if not thousands, if not 120, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of movies multiple times in my lifetime, and each time I find something different. But I also feel like I know what's going to happen next as well. And figuring out puzzles is something I've always done. And I'm not talking about pieces of puzzles like a puzzle. I'm talking about, things that are unsolvable, basically. I can figure most things out that are unsolvable and solve them. I'm not going to give you an example, and I'm not going to give you examples of movies that I'm talking about, but they exist nonetheless. So we've got quite a few birthdays today, so let's just dive into it. So I want to wish Jesse Page, Tyra Ward, Meg Turney turning 35 today. I want to wish her happy 35th birthday. And I want to wish Jamie Alexander happy birthday today as well. So, the next birthdays I have are, there's one on the 13th, and then there's two on the 14th, and then I've got two on the 15th and one on the 16th. And then I'll talk more about the rest of the month as we get closer and closer to that. But go wish Jesse Page, go wish Tyler Ward, and go wish Meg Turney a happy birthday on either their Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you may follow or subscribe to them, and go wish Jamie Alexander a happy birthday on Twitter or Instagram, wherever you follow her, and that's it. I will see you all tomorrow. I will have a new vlog for you guys tomorrow, and bye bye.